somebody had asked us the question, if what would you tell yourself now, or what would you do differently now that if you knew now what you knew then, what you didn't know then, or whatever. How am I saying that right?
No,
What advice would you give to yourself?
your former self.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you give what would you give your former self?
Me?
Yeah.
You and I had said we were going to do this and we didn't. And if and putting together the show and going through archives and stuff, I wish we had been more diligent about taking pictures
Oh
and
yeah.
having an
Yeah.
archive, because we've had a lot of great guests. We've had a lot of great fun in the studios and a lot of great times on the road. And there are some pictures, but there's a number of guests that I said, oh, let's find a picture of John and I with blank. And I couldn't find that person. And we did a good job of, if you're watching here, there's Stuart Elliott, who's a great friend of the show. The Beekman boys were there. Tim Gunn, Marilyn May, who's cabaret royalty. She came to visit us one time, which was fantastic. So we did do a better job taking some
Oh,
pictures.
and if you're listening, there's a picture of me with what's her Alva?
Alva from
The Barbed Wire Museum. Yeah, that was hysterical. She looked great.
And
there's
Edie
Edie from
from Cirque du Soleil's Humanity, and also a drag.
well-known drag queen that used to be in P-Town, and yeah, just pretty. And I would say the thing that I would do differently if I could do it over again would be to take Frank DeCaro's advice, which we only heard years later when he was talking about it. Do the show you want to do,
Right.
because someday you're not going to be doing the show. So do the show you want to do, not the show people think you should do, and just do what you want to do and have fun, and your listeners are going to have fun too. But you come to that a little later, and
You and I were also in a very tight box, different than the other shows that we were our peers at OutQ. You and I were very much the business lane.
Yeah.
And they didn't want us to veer into pop culture, and they didn't want us to veer into politics. And not that even Derek and Romana mentioned this at one time. Derek would like to have done more politics and maybe team up with Signorelli at one time and do something.
his lane.
But his lane was, you're going to be the nighttime show, and you're going to be the business show, and you're going to be the with Judy, it was the women's and mom show.
Give you a great example of that. We used to go to meet people at Sirius during the week sometimes because we were a Saturday show. And we'd show up, and some of the executives would be like, guys, you don't even look like talent. And we didn't even know, that label was never one that I wore very comfortably, but you don't even look like talent. And I'm like, well, what is talent supposed to look like?
Dirty T-shirt.
Dirty T-shirts, ripped jeans, look like a bum. And we'd be coming in like a blazer, a shirt, and slacks. And I just thought, well, this is pretty much business casual, but apparently, no, talent just rolls in.